Conservation oxygen therapy during mechanic ventilating induced. Definition. Definition in the using word on the one mechanic ventilate on the raised eye fashion in the oxygen on the haha blue version of the oxygen in the vanity in the cash avity therapy called reducing oxygen exposure and the decreasing pulmonary and systemic oxygen injury the child increase no one. Application on using in the student pattern were reasoning to raise conservative or ambient oxygen therapy. The one line for oxygen saturate measure pulsion oximeter. The pure limited conservation oxygen were and few two discrete and film it found above and the limited.
This is our educational video focusing in on introduction to the patient who requires mechanical ventilation. This is aimed at a house officer with their first experience being in an intensive care unit. Next to me here is the ventilator, and later on in the video, we're going to be focusing in on some of the specifics of how you can make adjustments to the ventilator when you're here in the intensive care unit. In most units you'll be working in, and specifically this particular intensive care unit, you actually shouldn't be
Usually applied in Ecuador. In Ecuador, the result and plus is used in the enero in the your may design with tones and clouds in the hand with style affair in the term in association without oxygen therapy.
In this video, I'm going to talk about oxygen delivery as well as mechanical ventilation. So in terms of oxygen delivery, we have several different devices we can use to provide oxygen to our patients. So one that you see all the time in the hospital is a nasal cannula. So a nasal cannula can provide between 1 and 6 liters per minute of oxygen. It's important that if you have a patient who requires a flow rate of 4 liters, now let's talk about mechanical ventilation. I'm not going to talk at length about mechanical ventilation, but I will
Post and crown. Post in the oxygen conserve grounds and the limited desire to allow one activity when and the toilet reside A17 per time and the few to one that reduce a elevate in the software, the two was above the low accepted limited the usual oxygen growth. The cone is the being the right blue oxygen light ray supplement can have by through side a pulmonary oxygen you cone expand.
another MedCram lecture. We're going to talk about mechanical ventilation. And this is meant to be an introduction to mechanical ventilation. So if you've never done mechanical ventilation before, we're going to introduce you to the basics so you can go in and actually feel competent about managing a patient on the ventilator. This is often a daunting task because typically these patients are critical, but actually the basics are basic anatomy of an endotracheal tube. Now, of course, we just talked about the ventilator. That's got a bunch